Welcome to our Home Education Program orientation. Thank you for considering International British Academy as a partner in your child's education. IBA is your partner in raising lifelong learners and achievers. I am Precious Santiago, the Home Education Program Coordinator of International British Academy. I have been with IBA for almost a decade now. Spent the first 5 years as an early years program teacher, and then transitioned to being the activities coordinator and primary school teacher. Should you partner with IBA, you and I will be in constant communication as everything homeschool related is coordinated through me. My goal today is to show you the unique features of homeschooling so that you can decide if this is really what your family can commit to. Homeschooling is a setup where parents take full responsibility for their child's learning. I want to emphasize that by opting to homeschool your child, you are committing to being your child's teacher. You are committing to learning the content of the lessons first, and being open to using technology to help you when the academic tasks become a little complicated. Parents who feel that they are not capable of teaching their child can hire a tutor who can perform this task. Please take note that IBA does not provide teachers for our homeschoolers. It is the parent's responsibility to select, hire, and supervise a tutor for their child. In IBA, we call our homeschooling program Home Education Program, or simply HEP. Homeschooling is not for out-of-school youth. It is not a form of informal learning at home, and it is also different from a home study program or distance learning. Distance learning has become popular these days because of the COVID-19 situation. It is a setup where children attend classes without face-to-face contact with teachers in the classroom. To summarize, in homeschooling, the responsibility for teaching and quality of learning rests with the parent. In distance learning, the responsibility for teaching and quality of learning rests with the school and teachers. I hope that the difference is clear to you at this point. Let us now compare the differences between the conventional and the homeschool program. The curriculum, venues for learning, and timetable is fixed for those in conventional school, while for homeschoolers, there is an option to change the curriculum for the open subjects. If parents relocate, studying can still continue. Parents can also adjust how they want to structure the learning days for their children. In some cases, parents who work schedule teaching their children at night after work. With a small teacher-to-student ratio, parents can easily identify their children's strengths and weaknesses. I want to address the big S issue in homeschooling, socialization. With homeschooling, children interact with a lot of people, especially when the parents expose them to various opportunities such as visits to the bank, groceries, or even playhouses where they mingle with people older or younger than them. In a conventional school, children interact mostly with their peers. Hence, socialization is horizontal. There are also homeschool cooperatives that you can join, and this is not limited to just homeschoolers from IBA. This means that for as long as parents expose their children to various social opportunities, this big S will never be an issue. I would like you to take a moment and read this famous quote from Gandhi. A lot of first-time homeschooling parents often wonder if they are capable enough to homeschool their children, especially those who have no teaching or education background. What I can assure you is that, as your child's parent, you will always desire the best for them. Being their teacher will make you learn more about your children, and it will also make you learn more about yourself. You are the best teacher for your child because no one knows your child better than you. However, having said that, it is equally important that if parents undertake the responsibility of homeschooling their child, that they make every effort to familiarize themselves with the subjects that they will teach. Teaching subjects such as mathematics and science may present a challenge. Parents who homeschool must be willing to take on this challenge. Here are some reasons why parents homeschool. They want their child to excel academically. They want to improve their child's social interaction. Some would like to support children with special needs or interests. Or some may be relocating and they do not want this to prevent their child from continuing their education. Others want to create an environment with less peer pressure and more fun. For many of you, it may be because of the current health crisis that we are all facing. These are all valid reasons. What matters is that your purpose for homeschooling is clear to you so that when you are met with challenges in your journey, you will remain faithful to your purpose. I want to mention that homeschooling your child because it is the cheaper alternative is not a good reason to homeschool. These are the noticeable advantages of homeschooling. Parents can strengthen their family values, aim for academic excellence, and have a nurturing environment. Parents can also customize their child's education and have flexibility and choice if they take IBA's homeschool program. I will discuss this further later on. Now, it is time for me to be honest with you about the challenges of homeschooling. The first one has something to do with time. Being your child's teacher, you need to make sure you have time to teach and study the content you will be teaching. You also need to create a schedule with the limited time that you have. This is particularly challenging for parents who have a day job to balance with their child's homeschooling. Another issue with time is failure to meet the deadlines of the program. Although your child is being homeschooled, there are still requirements such as grades and portfolios that need to be submitted. There's also a schedule where exams must be taken. Failure to manage time well will result in poor execution of these tasks and inability to meet the requirements. Another challenge is setting unrealistic expectations for your child, from yourself and from your homeschool provider. Parents can get frustrated when their child does not grasp the subject that quickly, or when the child finds it difficult to transition from a regular school to a homeschool setup. Parents can also be hard on themselves when they find it difficult to teach a subject that they understand. They feel that they are poor teachers just because they can't teach a subject in ways they think their child should be able to grasp quickly. You will find that as a teacher, you have limits too. If you homeschool a child, you will find that recognition and competition will be missing. Of course, how can my child be the first if he's the only one at home? Or how can he compete if his sibling is younger or older than him? I want to reiterate that parents who homeschool their child assume full responsibility of teaching. This means that they are in charge of creating additional worksheets, quizzes, and activities for their children. The school will not provide these things to homeschoolers. Being fully dependent on the homeschool provider can inhibit your growth as a teacher. This means that you will miss out on the great opportunities on how technology can help make teaching your child much easier. For those who are new to the concept of homeschooling, you may be wondering if homeschool is accepted or legal in the Philippines. The answer is yes. The government gives the parents freedom to homeschool their child. Should parents get a homeschool provider, they must ensure that the school is accredited by the Department of Education. This ensures that the guiding curriculum that the homeschoolers will be taking is recognized, approved, and within the standards set by DepEd. Now that everyone's more familiar with homeschooling, I want to tell you more about the homeschool program that we offer at IBA. I will expound on the key features of our program or what makes our program different from others. I will be giving you a quick breakdown of what the curriculum is. Of course, I can't forget to discuss the most inquired about information of the program, and that is the fees. I'll also be going through the enrollment process and how we're able to enroll students regardless of their location. What are the highlights of IBA's homeschool program? IBA is actually the first DepEd accredited homeschool provider in Cavite. So if you're worried if your children's education will be recognized by DepEd, we are 100% accredited. As a British school, IBA also gives homeschoolers the option to adopt the British components of our normal curriculum with theirs. I will talk more about these subjects in the next slide. Next, as your homeschool coordinator, I'm able to provide to you consultation during your homeschooling journey. Again, this venture is a challenging one, and we ensure that you are given the support you need to be successful in your endeavor. What about grades? How will my child be assessed? Well, fourthly, one of the requirements IBA asks from our homeschoolers is the termly portfolio. This is a gathering of documents that show the student's progress. This includes worksheets, quizzes, projects, and other supporting documents that exhibit the student's progress. Another key feature is our curriculum support. If you're unsure yet of what curriculum you want to implement, you have the option to adapt the same curriculum as our regular school program. This means that books and lessons are already coursed out, and you simply have to customize how best to teach each topic to your child. We also provide support for extracurricular activities. If you live near enough our campus, you can enroll your child to any of our school activities. Some of the extracurricular activities we offer in our campus includes sports, ballet, chess club, taekwondo, and more. You can also join in on our school field trips and events. Of course, during this period where sport and other school events are affected by the COVID crisis, we cannot guarantee participation in such clubs, activities, and events until such time as it is considered safe to do so. Before a child can enroll in the program, they must first undergo a diagnostic test to assess your child's performance level. This also serves as our basis for progress when we conduct the term exam. Each term, just like in a normal schooling, homeschoolers also take tests to determine their development. This helps ensure that the children in the homeschool program receive quality education, which is at par with the regular school. This also helps us provide you with a report card at the end of the year. We understand that parents and students look forward to seeing a numerical representation of their achievements. So we make sure to provide every homeschooler a final report card. This helps families in case they need to transfer back to the regular school system. Finally, our fees are affordable, which I'm sure you're happy to know. But before we move on to fees, I just want to give you an idea of what our curriculum looks like. IBA's homeschool curriculum includes these core subjects: British-based English and Literature, Singapore Math and Science, Filipino, and Humanities. But it is up to you to decide what curriculum you'd like to adopt for their arts, ICT, foreign language, music, PE, and PSHE subjects. If you want them to learn the drums rather than the standard musical instruments taught in regular school, that's acceptable. If you want to enroll them in yoga for PE, that's also an option. It's really up to you for as long as the objectives for each term or year are met with the curriculum of your choosing. Like I discussed earlier, we have 3 ways to determine a student's progress in our program. First, for the new enrollees, we assess a child's abilities through the diagnostic test. This will be the starting line of your child's homeschool journey, acting as a guide as to where your progress started. Second, we have the term portfolio submissions. Your child will also take the term exams in the major subjects provided by the school. If your child takes the same content for the open subjects, we can provide you with a major exam for those subjects as well. Note that the term examinations make up 40% of the child's grade, as this becomes one of the main indicators of your child's academic achievement. Now for the slide you have all been anticipating, the fees. Let me give you a quick breakdown. New enrollees have to pay a one-time non-refundable testing fee of $2,500 and a one-time non-refundable reservation fee of $2,500 as well. Our tuition fee for an entire school year is currently $25,000 for the first child enrolled. But if you have more than one child to enroll, the succeeding children are provided a 50% discount on their tuition fee. And depending on their year level, textbooks can range between 7,000 to 12,000 pesos total. So it is really a significant difference compared to regular tuition fees. Not only does it cut the cost of education, but you are also providing schooling for your child that is catered to their strengths. I urge everyone to consider because it is worth the time and can be rewarding for the entire family. But before considering homeschooling, there are also requirements we seek from the parents or tutors who will be the main educators of the students. You have to be a college degree holder. This is a requirement from DepEd. This ensures that the person taking charge of educating the children is capable of the task. Time is also a major requirement. If you have to work full-time in an office, homeschool might not be an option for you unless you are hiring a personal tutor. You must be committed to setting the appropriate time needed to teach. This includes extensive preparation. You have to create lesson plans for each subject, which also requires a lot of dedication and hard work. Of course, you must also be willing to learn. You have to be open to explore new ideas and ways of teaching. So if you think you're ready to start your homeschooling journey, let's go through the enrollment process. First, you must submit all necessary documents to the school registrar. Send clear, scanned copies of previous school records to our registrar, Ms. Julie Gonzalez, at registrar@iba.edu.ph. Please send a courtesy copy to my email address at psantiago@iba.edu.ph. The next step will be to pay the registration fee and testing fee. You can do this remotely through a variety of payment channels. This information will be given to you at your request. Once paid, you will be scheduled for your child's assessment test. On your scheduled date, your child will then take the assessment. Once your child passes the assessment, you can move on with enrollment. For students who are transferring from our regular school program, you only need to accomplish the preliminary application form for homeschool parents and submit it to me for review. After which, you simply pay the tuition fee and textbook fees, and you're done. And that's it. I hope everyone has a clear idea of the benefits of homeschooling, what it's all about, and if it's for you and your family. But if you have further questions, please feel free to shoot me an email at that address that you see on your screen. I hope that this encourages everyone to consider homeschooling as an option for you and your children. I hope that if you do choose to homeschool, that you join our IBA family of homeschoolers. I want to thank you for your time, I look forward to hearing from everyone again. This is Ms. Precious Santiago, IBA's homeschool coordinator. Have a wonderful day and stay safe.